Hi, my name is Rohan Webb, and I am presenting this video to meet criteria for the Master of Educational Technology program at Boise State University. As I reflect on some of my experiences throughout the program, you will get an opportunity to see that I regard educational technology as an exciting and dynamic field of study and area of expertise. In this culminating activity, I will focus on three areas. First, I will show mastery within the discipline by highlighting two examples of my work. Next, I will share a defining moment in the program. And finally, I will reflect on the process of intellectual growth as an educator. In this first example of my work, the design of effective visual messages is a critical component to instructional design in an online environment, and this underscores the need for greater proficiency in visual literacy in general. Figure 1.1 shows the visual design for a primary school lesson in mathematics. The lesson's objective is identifying digits 0 to 5. The visual is motivational and supports teaching the learner facts. The purpose of the visual is to stimulate prior knowledge as an advanced organizer. This lesson is for adult learners and shows the decision-making process. The instructional objective was to distinguish between the 4 steps identified in the decision-making process. The complexity of comprehending and remembering a new framework for viewing decisions prompted a design that reduces cognitive load for far transfer tasks. The learners in this instance have low prior knowledge of this task. Concerns about cognitive overload and the subsequent need to provide memory support led to incorporating a mnemonic. The use of the mnemonic is an important scaffold in providing memory support for learners.
There was a point in the program when I found it very difficult to understand and complete required online coursework. It was my second semester in the program and I was unfamiliar with the learning management system, the course material, and I had 2 classes that were very similar in design, which caused a lot of trepidation. To compound this, I had some personal challenges to overcome. Because of my unfamiliarity with so many things in this environment, I was constantly overwhelmed and isolated. However, I was able to overcome these challenges in using what I'd learned in these classes about the need to build community in an online environment. I was therefore able to come up with a solution by reaching out to peers and to the instructor. Just the increased interaction was enough to change my frame of reference. Therefore, the idea of building an effective community within an online learning environment can be vital to its very success.
I now have a better understanding of how to tailor my words to reflect an academic voice. I have also become more proficient at using visual literacy techniques to improve my instruction. The program has made me keenly aware of a systematic approach to designing instruction. Only a year ago, I had no concept
of what asynchronous learning is. I had very little understanding of how a wiki worked. Blogs were something that I really did not take much time to experience. Now I'm able to incorporate them in the learning experience. One of the most radical changes that I've gone through is that I now consider myself more of a constructivist than I would a year ago. Also become proficient at using many online tools. I had always been familiar with learning theories, but now I have a greater grasp of how they impact the design of instruction.
Educational technologists have the opportunity, and in fact the responsibility, to interpret the landscape of potential benefits as well as pitfalls for integrating technology into the classrooms. In summing up my learning experiences, I would say I tend to focus a lot more now on guiding the learning process rather than directing it. I try to influence active learning more strategically by providing exceptional examples for my learners and by creating communities for collaborative learning. Through this, I hope that learners will find their own motivation for lifelong learning. I have a very deep interest in online teaching and learning, which has led me to develop the interactive teaching and learning platform. It is different from traditional learning management systems because it incorporates the actual design of the instruction with the delivery of the course content. For this approach to work successfully, I have had to become very versed in visual literacy. I have incorporated the things that I've learned and have therefore chosen to use these two examples to highlight just how important they are to the success of my teaching and learning system. Designing effective online courses requires a certain amount of diligence, attention to detail, but most importantly, it requires deep analysis and an appreciation of the systematic process of instructional design.
The things I have highlighted in this presentation provide an overview of my experiences while in the MET program and serve as an introduction to my portfolio.
Thanks to all my peers and members of the faculty of the Educational Technology Department at Boise State University.